What is up, you guys? In today's video, I'm going to tell you how these 3 disciplines are going to make you astronomically more money as a woodworking business owner. Let's dive in. All right, well, welcome back to the podcast. Welcome back to the show. As always, I'm super glad that you're here. I'm grateful for you. Hopefully you're having a great 2024 and you're growing your woodworking business, you're reaching your goals. And in today's video, it's a little bit different than normal. I want to talk to you about some disciplines that have really changed my life and I think can change your life for the better as well. As we talk about woodworking business owners, we talk about woodworkers in general. Woodworkers are blue collar guys, right? Our dads and our grandpas were blue collar guys. Most of us, not all of us, but most of us got to where we are through just sweat equity and hard work. And when you look at society and you look at white collar versus blue collar guys, both of them have some unhealthy habits. What we find is that white collar guys are real high paced, work super long hours. They tend to neglect their families and the relationships around them at times. You find blue collar guys tend to neglect their health. They can neglect their families. And what we find is that there are disciplines, whether you're a white collar guy or a blue collar guy, it doesn't really matter. But there are disciplines that if you can implement in your everyday life, they're actually going to make you more money and make you more successful and give you a ton of self-confidence to get where you're trying to go. And so I'll just kind of tell you guys, like for me, one of the things that my parents instilled in me was that I could do whatever I set my mind to. If I was willing to work hard at it, I could do anything that I set my mind to. And this was one of those things that I didn't really think that much about when I was younger, but the older I got, the more that I saw this come to life in me. And I realized how valuable this belief system really was. If you're watching this right now and you don't feel confident that you can do what you set your mind to, you can change that. And whether or not your business is successful, a lot of times will depend on the level of confidence that you bring to whatever it is that you're doing. And so for me, I knew that there were so many things that I had to figure out that I didn't know the answers to when I started, but I knew that I could figure them out along the way. And so here are the 3 disciplines that are going to make you astronomically more money as a woodworking business owner. Number 1, the first discipline that's going to make you way more money, and you're going to be like, oh, here we go. It's working out. Working out consistently, working out daily, working out and taking care of your body. A lot of you guys are not productive or not efficient because you're tired and worn out. Your body can't keep up with your workload. It's very easy to neglect your body when you're trying to build something else. And I'll be the first to admit that I have struggled with this. I'll be in a good routine, working out, taking care of myself. I go through a season of it being extremely busy. And what is the first thing that usually goes? Well, I'm not going to work out during this time. I'm going to work. I'm behind. I can't work out. I've got to work. But every time that I start working out and I go through a season where I'm disciplined, I see astronomical benefits in my sleep, in my focus. I'm in a better mood. I'm happier. And if nothing else, guys, literally like having a place to where you can go take out all your frustrations, all of your anger of the challenges of the woodworking business you're trying to grow, it's immensely valuable. Working out is not just for your physical body, but it's also for your mind. There was a study that was conducted, there was a study that was done where there were depressive patients that were depressed or anxious. Half of them were prescribed antidepressant medicine. Half of them were prescribed just a consistent daily workout routine. And after a 6-week study, what they found was that those that adhered to this workout routine for 6 weeks were vastly happier than those that had been prescribed antidepressant medication. Okay, so why is that? It's because when you work out, your body releases endorphins, which are natural highs to help you see things clearly, to help you see things differently, to give you a proper perspective that you didn't have before. And so I want to encourage you right now that if you're not focusing on your health, if you're not focusing on your body, to do something, to get into a routine, somehow to focus on your body. If you want to make more money, if you want to be happier and more fulfilled, I'm telling you right now that working out an hour a day or even 30 minutes a day is one of the easiest, most low barrier to entry steps that you can take in order to do that. Well, Zach, gym memberships are expensive. No, they're not. It depends on what gym you go to, but a lot of gym memberships are $10 a month. That's not expensive. Oh, well, Zach, it's expensive to eat healthy. Well, it depends. If you eat out and eat healthy all the time, then yes, it's not that expensive to cook your own food and make chicken breast. Now, disclaimer here, groceries are astronomically more expensive now than they were 18 months ago. I understand that. But if you do all these things, it's going to help set you up for success in the long term. So number 1 is working out, taking care of your body and making sure that that is a priority in your life. Number 2, and that's for those of you that are already listening to this, you guys kind of got this one down, but it's reading or listening to books and or podcasts. The difference between where you are now and where you want to go is just knowledge. Where you are now and where you're trying to get to, the gap there is just what I call the knowledge gap. There are things that you don't know that you're going to need to know in order to have a $50,000 a month business or $100,000 a month business, whatever that might be. And so how do you learn those things? Well, you learn from people that have done it. And so by listening to podcasts, by watching YouTube videos, by listening to books or reading books, you are going to astronomically make more money. Guys, I kid you not. I could show you a screenshot of me scrolling through my Audible account. I've listened to 110 books in the last 3 or 4 years, all around family, finances, fitness, business principles. And so you need to look at your life and you need to evaluate, what are the things in my life that are struggling or lagging behind? Is it my business skills? Is it my relationships? The way that I treat clients or customers? Is it my sales skills or my marketing skills? What are the things that I'm lacking? And then how can I go find these resources that are going to help pull that level up to the rest of all the others? If you're really good at a lot of things and you're missing a few things that you're just terrible at, what are some great resources that you can access, books, podcasts, that from consuming that information, it's going to take you to another level? And a lot of guys, especially blue collar guys, I ain't going to read nothing. I'm not going to waste my time doing that. I haven't read a book since I was in school and I had to read. Well, that's probably why you're still stuck where you've always been. Again, you're not suffering from a hard work problem. Most of you're suffering from a knowledge problem. And if you're not willing to learn, you're not going to grow. You need to have a growth mindset where you're always learning something new. You're always dipping your toes in something different that you haven't experienced and you haven't seen that perspective before, okay? That's number 2. Number 3, this is one of my favorite ones, and this is coming from my own personal journey, my own personal faith walk, but that is spending time with God and praying over your family every day. And so for me personally, when I don't spend time with God, I'm not displaying the fruits of the Spirit. So what are the fruits of the Spirit? Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, and self-control. Those are fruits of the Spirit, which means that those are going to be a byproduct of walking with the Spirit of God, okay? And if you're not exhibiting those things, it means that there's a disconnect between you and the Spirit of God. And that doesn't mean that you're always perfect. It doesn't mean that you don't make any mistakes. I'm super flawed. I make mistakes. But love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, and self-control, those things are evident in your life when you're spending time with God, and they allow you to make clearer decisions in your business. When you're emotionally erratic, you're all over the place, you're super high and you're super low, and you're not consistent emotionally, you don't think clear. You don't make good, sound decisions. And the other thing with this is praying over your family every day. When I pray over my family every day, it connects me to the needs of my family. So if I know that my kids are struggling at school, if I know, let's say that money is tight or whatever, being connected to my family, to my children, to my spouse, and seeing her needs, a lot of times, guys, it will light a fire underneath you to get focused inside of your business. And so if you are working out and taking care of your body, constantly learning, if you're reading or listening to audiobooks or podcasts, you're learning things from other people. And then if you're spending time with God and you're praying over your family every day, these 3 principles, simple to say, they're hard to execute. They're hard to do daily, make a priority. But if you can make them a priority, you will beat 99% of the competition. I was watching this the other day, and it was Dana White, the UFC owner. And he's kind of a crude guy, has a really strong opinion about most things. But one of the things he said was it is so easy today to win because most people can't endure pain and most people aren't willing to do what it takes to be successful. So if you can just be a weekend savage, is what he called it. If you can be a savage some of the time, you can dramatically bypass your competition. But these things outside of your woodworking business, if you'll do these 3 things, you'll start seeing everything else start to change inside of your business. So with that being said, guys, I really appreciate you all. A couple resources for you. Number 1, if you're trying to get a free resource that's going to help you, be sure to check out my free ebook, the Handmade Business Secrets ebook below. You just got to enter your first name, email address, and you can have access to that. It's about 100 pages long, and it's really going to help you on your journey, okay? Number 2 is the Handmade Hero Academy. If you're looking for a low cost, low barrier to entry option to gain some of these business principles that we talk about all the time on the channel, go check out the Handmade Hero Academy. It's a few $100. You sell 1 dining table as a result of what you learn inside of that program. It's going to pay for itself. It is a no-brainer investment in my opinion, okay? And then lastly is if you're really trying to scale, you're really trying to grow, be sure to check out the Woodworking Business Accelerator program. That program, we now have right under 40 clients inside of that program. We're helping people all over North America scale their woodworking business, and you could be the next one. So don't wait, don't delay, don't put it off. If you're stuck and if you haven't seen progress in your wood business the way that you want, be sure to get a coach, get a mentor, mentor. Get somebody that has gone before you, has actually done what you're trying to do, and that's me. I've actually started and scaled a woodworking business to $900,000 a year and sold that business, okay? So I have the tools that you need to do the same thing. Hopefully this was helpful to you and encouraged you to get disciplined so that you can ultimately build the business you're trying to build. So with that being said, love you all, and I'll see you in the next one.